There are moments when your deepest self recoils from a being, yet your rational mind cannot explain why. This resistance is not random. It is not a passing mood or baseless paranoia. It is a signal rising from depths far beyond your everyday awareness. Rudolf Steiner called this super-sensible perception, the soul's ability to recognize what remains hidden from physical eyes. Not every rejection stems from prejudice or fear. Some are warnings designed to protect your spiritual integrity. What you will discover in the coming minutes will show you how your soul speaks when words fail. You will understand why your body reacts before your thoughts can catch up, and why certain encounters consume you from within. These 7 signs are not figments of the imagination. They are manifestations of what Steiner described as the wisdom of the etheric body and the language of the astral body, and they will help you distinguish between superficial judgment and the deep knowledge that arises from the very essence of your soul's being. Perhaps you have already sensed that something was wrong, but you couldn't put your finger on it. Perhaps you have felt guilty for instinctively rejecting someone whom everyone else sees as harmless. What you are about to discover will finally give voice to your inner perception. The first sign manifests in your body long before your mind analyzes the situation. Steiner defined the etheric body as an invisible carrier of life force that stores everything your soul has ever experienced. This etheric body reacts to vibrations, resonances, and disharmonies emanating from other people. When someone whose energy is incompatible with yours enters your space, your etheric body tenses up. It is like a sensitive plant that closes its leaves when touched. You may feel sudden fatigue, an unexplained heaviness in your chest, mild nausea, or an urge to leave the room. These physical symptoms are not imaginary. They are the concrete response of your subtle body to a threat that your senses have not yet grasped. The etheric body is the memory of your soul. It carries not only the experiences of this lifetime, but also karmic echoes from past incarnations. When your body reacts with discomfort in someone's presence, it may be remembering a betrayal, a broken promise, a wound from centuries ago. Your body knows before you remember. This rejection is not paranoia, nor is it social anxiety. Social anxiety scatters your thoughts, speeds them up, leaves you restless. But the soul's warning brings with it a quiet, intense clarity, a clear no that needs no justification. It's as if a door inside you slams shut before the visitor even knocks. Can you recall a moment when your body understood faster than your head? The second sign reveals itself in the impossibility of maintaining your inner peace. Steiner placed great importance on what he called inner peace, that sacred space where inner contemplation and spiritual growth flourish. However, some people emit a frequency that destroys this space. Meditating in their presence becomes impossible. Your thoughts, which normally flow clearly and regularly, begin to spin, stumble, and cause confusion. Your astral body, which carries your emotions and sensory life, falls into disharmony. Steiner said that when 2 astral bodies meet, they either vibrate in harmony or repel each other. The rejection of your soul is a reaction to this disharmony that threatens your inner integrity. After encountering this person, you notice your thoughts going in circles. As if a part of you has been touched without permission, you repeatedly think about your thoughts without reaching a conclusion. This mental fatigue is not weakness. It is the echo of an intrusion into your soul's space. Your astral body tries to shake off the foreign vibration, and this struggle consumes your energy. You feel as if you have lost something important. A part of your vitality has been stolen in a way you cannot prevent. Anthroposophical teaching describes how the astral body withdraws or tries to prevent discomfort during disharmony. Your soul defends itself to protect its sacred space. Have you ever noticed how difficult it is to return to yourself after certain encounters? The third sign appears in your dreams. According to Steiner, the dream world is the bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. When your waking consciousness cannot process a danger, your soul speaks through symbols at night. You see closed doors, blocked streets, threatening animals, or murky waters. During sleep, the I and the astral body separate from the physical and etheric bodies. In this state, the soul sees more clearly what the day hides. The person your soul rejects may not appear in their true form. They appear as shadows, faceless figures, beings that press down on your chest and take your breath away. These dream images are not random reflections of your fears. They are the honest language of your soul, suppressed by politeness and social rules while awake. When the same dream recurs, especially after encountering this person, your soul insists on being heard. Rejection in dreams is more real than daytime politeness. Steiner emphasized that the dream world provides us with insights into karmic connections, bonds that extend beyond this present life. Perhaps your dream is warning you not to repeat an old pattern, a karma you experienced in a previous incarnation. The soul does not forget, even if the waking consciousness does. Do images you refuse to accept during the day appear in your nights? The fourth sign manifests itself as a loss of life force after the encounter. Steiner warned against people who unconsciously consume the etheric forces of others. This stems not from conscious malice, but from an inner emptiness that drives them to behave energetically like parasites. He described them as spirits who cannot nourish themselves and therefore feed on the vitality of others. You recognize this from the symptoms that appear after being together. A fatigue that no amount of sleep can cure, feeling like you've aged years in a few hours, a loss of interest in things that normally give you pleasure. It's as if part of your light has gone out. This energy loss is not metaphorical. In anthroposophical terms, the etheric body is the carrier of life force, the energy that animates and renews your physical body. When someone uses this power without knowing or wanting to, you become weaker with every encounter. Your soul rejects this person because it realizes that this connection will leave you spiritually empty. Not every relationship is nourishing. Some are toxic on a deeper level than meets the eye. Rejection is not cruelty. It is an act of self-preservation. You are choosing to survive, not just physically, but spiritually and emotionally as well. Do you notice the exhaustion that lingers like an invisible shadow behind some people? The fifth sign reveals itself in your intuitions, screaming without explanation. Steiner distinguished between ordinary thinking, which is logical and rational, and living thinking, which is intuitive and pictorial. The rejection of your soul operates at the level of living thinking. There is no proof there, only certainties. Intuition is the higher self touching the waking consciousness with a message from the spiritual world. However, our culture demands rational reasons for everything. The soul does not justify itself. It simply knows. And so, you feel guilty for rejecting someone who appears superficially friendly and harmless. Those around you see only the social mask, the outward appearance. But you sense something beneath it that cannot be photographed or recorded. This perception is a sign of your spiritual maturity, but it brings deep loneliness. The loneliness of trusting your own spiritual perception against collective consensus. Everyone tells you you are wrong, but you know you are right. This tension between external opinions and your inner knowledge is one of the greatest tests on the spiritual path. Steiner spoke of the path of knowledge requiring courage, the courage to follow your own inner light, even if the world claims otherwise. How often have you denied your own perception to please others? The sixth sign reveals itself in the distortion of time when you are with this person. Time is not just a physical measure. It is perceived differently by the soul. In the presence of a harmonious soul, time flows. In the presence of disharmony, Time slows down or disappears without a trace. 5 minutes can feel like hours, or hours can pass without you remembering what happened. Your consciousness fragments, unable to anchor itself in the present moment. You keep checking your watch, longing for the moment you can leave, or you lose the concept of time entirely, as if in a light trance. This distortion of time is a sign that your astral body is trying to escape before your physical body can. Even though you are still sitting in the chair, your spirit has already left the room. A slight dissociation occurs, a mental fog, the feeling of observing the situation from outside yourself. Steiner described how the astral body withdraws during a strong inner rejection to protect itself. When the soul does not consent, it withdraws to a safe place within itself. This inward retreat is a survival strategy of your subtle being. It indicates that you are not wanted there, not by you, but by the deepest layers of your being. Have you ever noticed how strangely time passes when you feel uncomfortable? The seventh sign emerges in the guilt you begin to feel for rejecting someone. Steiner taught that not all feelings of guilt are real. Some are instilled by society. Real guilt arises when we violate our own inner truth. Rejecting someone who threatens your spiritual integrity is not a moral failure. It is spiritual maturity. The greatest betrayal is not rejecting another person, but betraying yourself because you fear rejection by others. Tolerating the intolerable out of politeness, pity, or fear of appearing cold is a form of violence against your own spirit. A conscious and honest rejection is nobler than a hypocritical acceptance. Herein lies the paradox of spiritual compassion. Being compassionate does not mean allowing someone to enter your sacred space. You can wish the other person well from a distance. Some people should be loved from afar, very far away. Learning to distinguish one rejection from another is a task that requires deep self-knowledge. It requires honesty, courage, and a willingness to face your inner world without embellishment. Steiner emphasized that every person has a spiritual responsibility to protect and nurture their spiritual life. This is not selfishness. It is a necessary condition for doing the work you came here to do in this life. Your soul does not reject because of persecution. It rejects out of loyalty to your destiny, your karma, your reason for being here. If you ignore this rejection, you lose yourself. And the price of losing yourself is infinitely higher than the price of being misunderstood by others. Are you ready to hold your soul's voice above the world's opinion? These 7 signs are not an invitation to paranoia or isolation. They are tools of discernment that will help you better understand the language of your soul. Not every encounter is karmic destiny. Some are detours, some are tests, and some are simply encounters with no deeper meaning. Steiner spoke of significant karmic encounters and random encounters. Not every person who crosses your path has something to teach or share with you. Some are only there to test your ability to listen to your own soul. There is a fear of being wrong and a fear of losing yourself. You can be wrong about a person, and the consequences will be insignificant. But if you ignore the signs of your soul and lose yourself along the way, the consequences will be devastating. Conscious solitude is better than a friendship that extinguishes your inner light. This is not a call for coldness, but a call for clarity. Your soul has no time for games, masks, or connections that distance you from your essence. It wants to direct you toward real encounters, toward people who resonate with you, with whom you can grow together without diminishing yourself. Rejection is an act of spiritual self-love. Protecting your soul's sacred space is not selfishness. It is a spiritual responsibility. It is preserving your integrity for the task you must fulfill in this life. Your soul does not reject out of cruelty. Your soul rejects because of its loyalty to your destination, your inner calling, what you want to accomplish here. Some connections distract you, drain your energy, and lead you astray from your true path. That is why your soul protects you by withdrawing before it is too late. Not every rejection needs an explanation or justification. Some farewells are silent, definitive, and sacred. You owe no one an explanation for your soul recognizing someone as incompatible. This silence is not cowardice. It is respect for the depth of what is happening. Some truths are too delicate to be expressed in words. Some decisions arise in a realm beyond language, where the soul receives its clearest insights. What if you finally trust this silent certainty? Trust that your soul knows the way. Your soul will guide you to genuine encounters, to people who support your growth, who do not dim your light but rather strengthen it. It will protect you from relationships that derail you, weaken you, make you seem smaller than you are. And in the quiet of honest rejection, you will find the freedom to truly be yourself. No masks, no compromises, no self-denial. Just the pure, clear truth of who you are at your core. According to the anthroposophical view, humans are beings standing between the earthly and spiritual worlds. Every encounter is a test of this balance. Some encounters strengthen your connection to the spiritual world, while others threaten it. Your soul knows which is which. It sends you subtle and sometimes loud signals to warn or encourage you. These 7 signs are manifestations of this wisdom. They are gifts from your own depths, reminders that you are more than your physical body, your social roles, or others' opinions of you. You are a soul on a journey through many lifetimes, and this journey requires clarity, courage, and a willingness to do what is right, even when it is uncomfortable. The rejection expressed by your soul is not a weakness. It is a sign of your growing spiritual discernment. The further you progress on the path of self-discovery, the clearer this voice becomes, and one day, you will no longer hesitate. You will know whom you can allow into your life and whom you cannot, and you will make this decision with calmness and certainty, without guilt or doubt. The world may tell you that you must give everyone a chance, that you must not judge anyone in advance. But the world does not know your soul. The world only sees the surface. Your soul looks deeper and has the right to choose. It has the right to say no to anything that does not serve it, that weakens it, that leads it astray. This no is sacred. It is your first and most important boundary. Without this boundary, you disappear, lost in the needs, expectations, and energies of others. With this boundary, you remain strong. You remain clear. You remain yourself. That's why I invite you to see these 7 signs not as signs, but as a language that is always at your fingertips, but one you may have forgotten or ignored. Start listening to it. Start taking it seriously. Your soul does not lie. It does not exaggerate. It does not manipulate. It always, without exception, tells the truth. And when you learn to listen to this truth, your life will transform. You will become freer, more authentic, more yourself. And the encounters that remain will be those that truly nourish you, truly see you, truly honor you. If you've read these words this far, you already know that something within you is thirsty for this clarity. Perhaps you have already experienced these signs and did not know how to interpret them. Perhaps someone has convinced you that your perception is wrong, that you are too sensitive, that you overreact. But now you know better. You know that your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is a gift, a tool for recognition. You know your soul possesses a wisdom your intellect can never reach. Allow this knowledge to work within you. Allow it to empower you. And the next time an encounter triggers these signs in you, don't hesitate. Trust. Step back when necessary. Say no when appropriate. Protect your inner sanctuary with the resolve it deserves. Your soul will thank you. And over time, You will notice your life becoming brighter, clearer, more fulfilling, because only people vibrating at your true frequency will surround you. The soul's journey is long and requires you to be selective, not out of arrogance, but out of love for yourself and what you came here to accomplish. Steiner reminded us that every life has a mission, a task that only you can fulfill. To fulfill this task, you must remain strong, remain clear, remain true to your inner essence. And sometimes this means letting go of people, ending connections, saying no where others would say yes. This is not an easy path. It requires courage, self-confidence, and a willingness to be misunderstood. But it is the only path that leads you to yourself. And in the end, that is the only thing that matters. Not how many people you bring into your life, but how faithful you remain to your own spirit. Not how popular you are, but how authentic you are. Not how many connections you have, but how deep and nourishing the ones that remain are. If these words have helped you understand the language of your soul better, let me know. In the comments, write about which of these signs you have experienced most powerfully in your life. Share your experiences with others who are currently seeking validation, looking for a sign that they are not alone in their perceptions. And if you want more of this kind of guidance, subscribe to this channel. This is a space for souls who look deeper, feel more, and are ready to hear the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. You belong here, exactly as you are. The soul speaks, not in loud shouts, but in whispers that demand your full attention. It speaks through the tightness in your chest when you enter a room. It speaks through dreams filled with inexplicable fear that wake you at 3 in the morning. It speaks through exhaustion that no rest can ease, through time that stretches or vanishes, through intuition that knows without knowing how. These are not abstract concepts or mystical fantasies. They are the reality experienced by a spirit navigating a world that often values appearance over substance, politeness over truth, and social consensus over individual knowledge. And in a culture that teaches us to question our inner voice, seek approval from external authorities, and conform to what we deeply perceive rather than honor it, these signs become an act of revolutionary self-confidence. Your spirit is ancient. Your spirit carries the wisdom accumulated over lifetimes, the traces of betrayals experienced before this body, the memories of promises kept and broken over centuries. When your spirit speaks, it speaks from this vast reservoir of experience. To ignore your spirit is to squander the most reliable source that could guide you through the complexities of human relationships. So listen. Listen with all the attention you would give a beloved teacher. Listen without immediately trying to rationalize or explain what you perceive. Listen, and then honor what you hear with action, with withdrawal, with setting boundaries, with the sacred act of no that protects the temple of your maturation. This is the path Steiner illuminated, the path of conscious spiritual development, the path where every choice either serves or betrays your deepest purpose. By choosing to honor what your soul rejects, you are not being harsh, judgmental, or cold. You are being right. And this truth, this fierce loyalty to your own inner light, is the foundation upon which all true spiritual progress is built.